Hello and welcome to a God I Wish There's No Drilling episode of the Brave Room. Hey, guess what? We got it on time this month.
Hooray!
We're now 50% on time and 50% not on time since we started this whole monthly format. And hey, remember, if you like these podcasts, leave a comment. Or maybe if you hate them, leave a comment too, Those are always fun to read as well.
And also, we can game the algorithm, baby.
I mean, don't tell them that. But yeah, if you could help us just boost us up in the algorithm, that'd be great. For no reason other than I want to beat what I assume. I guess Martha Stewart must have a podcast. If we can get over Martha Stewart, that'd be great. So we're not gonna, but it's important to have dreams. Anyways, as always, I'm your host Juan Amiral, and today we have
Kid, the usual as well. Not on a training arc.
Not on a training arc. Have you woken up in Shibuya recently?
Fortunately, no, I think.
It is my fantasy to just wake up in Shibuya because I want to go to Japan, obviously. But I do not like travel. Flights are possibly my least favorite form of transportation ever. I have a whole stand-up set written about how much I hate flying. Actually, no, let's just go straight into it. Yes, Kingdom Hearts 4, huh?
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 4. And from what I have gleaned, that this announcement is a touch too early, you know?
It's so funny that, games still do this where they have the super early announcement because they don't want it to leak, which is, a fair assessment to make. But on the other hand, you're just gonna doom the game to the overdrawn hype cycle. And I feel Kingdom Hearts is the worst for this because Kingdom Hearts fans are, and I'll put this lightly, fucking psychos. I don't think Kingdom Hearts is that good.
Okay.
It's a subpar action game with a weird story and too many spin-offs.
Insert dramatic gasp here.
I remember playing Kingdom Hearts 3 and there's that scene with the tornado of Keyblades where supposedly they tried to pull a Nier Automata where all the names of the mobile game players showed up. And it was the most unearned bullshit I've ever seen. It's just the mobile game, really. And people are like, oh no, you have to play all these spin-offs to understand it. No, you don't. I didn't play any, and Kingdom Hearts 3 made just as much sense to me as it did to some lore hound. Just because I'm not creaming my pants over, oh, Big Barnot is there. That's that guy in the corner, that's Big Bar. It doesn't matter. This is the same shit with people who say that you need to watch the Sam Raimi Spider-Man to understand No Way Home. You don't. Those characters could be anyone else. It just so happens that they took your favorite actor from 20 years ago. It's the same thing here. Don't worry about it. Kingdom Hearts plot is simple. Sora does the big darkness heart thing, and then
It may be simple, but it ain't clean. Ha ha ha.
Hey, we got there. My favorite thing is, people are like, no, Kingdom Hearts plot, actually there's a through. There is not. Do you know Organization 13 just randomly came back to life for Kingdom Hearts 3?
What?
Because you kill all of them in Kingdom Hearts 2.
I see.
And then in 3, they're just back. And they're like, no, we got our hearts back. So we're alive now.
Oh god, I wish that were me, man.
And it's just no mobile game is explaining this. Admit it, you took the Fujoshi money, Nomura.
My only experience with Kingdom Hearts was a Chain of Memories, I believe that.
Yeah, GBA game.
Yeah, the GBA game, yeah. And I was super bad at it. I think it had some vague platforming, and I also ran out of card draw. Oops. Okay, never mind. I'm dead. And also Yoko Shimomura's endless suffering under Nomura's very vague instructions to her music. God bless you, woman.
Yeah. I think you can make a work to his Nomura support group at this point. I'm gonna be real with you. And I say this with no factual basis whatsoever other than trust me, bro. Why would I lie in the month of Ramadan?
People go on the internet to lie?
Organization 13 saved Kingdom Hearts. I think if they didn't introduce 13 Bishis for the second game, that game would have been dead in the ground. They've been around since Chain of Memories. They're a big part of Chain of Memories as well. Without it, Kingdom Hearts would have just been a subpar one-hit wonder. It would have been like Epic Mickey, except even Epic Mickey managed to get a second game out. But even then, that game's dead. Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 2 would have come out if it launched without Organization 13. Kingdom Hearts 2 would have come out and then it would have just been well,
There you go.
yeah, there you go. But yeah, anyways, there's not much to talk about Kingdom Hearts 4 because there's not much to say about it.
Yeah.
I just find it so funny because Kingdom Hearts to me is like numbered Final Fantasy games
Uh-huh.
where there's supposed to be a big gap between them, and to me 3 still feels like it just came out.
I mean, by all means, it's technically true, I guess.
Yeah, but I feel like they shouldn't have even announced it. Like, whatever, so it leaks, whatever.
I mean, I suppose even if it leaks, like, I think at
Devil
that
May
point,
Cry 5 was leaked like 3 years before it was announced. It was the worst kept secret in Capcom.
I think people will also pretty much expect it, like, yeah.
Yeah, it's like the next numbered Final Fantasy. Ooh, whoa, there's gonna be a Hey, heads up guys, it's gonna be a Final Fantasy 17. Whether or not it's preceded by 16-2, that I can't confirm, but guess what? It's like Street Fighter 6. You know, everyone's like, oh my god, of course they're gonna announce Street Fighter 6. Street Fighter makes Capcom money.
Uh-huh.
Or, you know, a new Monster Hunter. These are all easy calls to make.
And someday we might even get a new Ace Attorney with that money. Who can say?
Nah, that's gone. Capcom doesn't like you glorifying lawyers whenever they get in trouble.
Aww.
I gotta say though, Kingdom Hearts 3 was like just I don't know. Maybe if I was someone who based my entire personality on Kingdom Hearts, I'd have found it this touching epilogue. But I didn't, so I don't.
So now Sora's kind of dead, I guess.
People are saying they're probably gonna do Marvel, Star Wars stuff. I fully believe that because Disney can't resist. They can't resist their brand integration. But yeah, that's what's going on with the Kingdom Heart. Well, what else happened this month? Okay, first of all, I wanna acknowledge something stupid. I can't remember if I talked about this in the last Elden Ring chat.
Mm-hmm.
Anime fans are fucking dumb. I'm sorry. If you are an anime fan and you are, I don't know, let's say under 25, you are dumb. That's this flat rule. Because, so you know Elden Ring has the big tree, the earth tree in the middle, big glowing tree. And I saw people dead ass say this is a reference to Attack on Titan. He was inspired by Attack on Titan because of the paths. No, idiot. There's a chapter of Berserk where Griffith kills a giant kaiju and it turns into a massive glowing tree that he then builds a kingdom around. Which is exactly what the city of Leyndell in Elden Ring is. It's a giant city built around a big glowing tree.
But no, with my limited anime knowledge, I said this is a Sword Art Online reference because of...
Oh, I want to talk about that. You know, the funny thing about like having read so much fantasy, as fantasy manga, and then only going to Berserk, is you realize how much of that comes from Berserk. And I can definitively say Kirito is the worst like Guts clone I've ever seen. To the point that they even call him the Black Swordsman. I'm like, shut the hell up, Kirito. I should point out, I don't even watch Sword Art Online, but I remember when it first came out, my classmate tried to get me into it. It's like, no, but see, this is an anime for gamers, because he's in the game and Kirito is so cool. And I watched it for like 15 seconds and couldn't stand it. Because it was the blacksmith girl or something. She's this typical moe blob being like, oh my god, Kirito's coming home or something like that. No. But yeah, no. And I hate, this isn't even an Elden Ring topic anymore. No, I hate what Sword Art Online did to fancy anime, because now all fancy anime needs to have like MMO elements in it. I watched Eden Zero, and the moment they started talking about guild levels, I was like, no, you're better than this. Hiro Mashima, come on.
I mean, Hiro Mashima recycles his protagonist and
his fetish. Oh my god, I love it. I love it so much. Man has one fetish and has replicated it in every work. It's gotten so bad that I don't even remember what the female leads are named anymore. I call them Ellie no matter what. Well, my friend tries to like tell me like, you know, oh yeah, you know this character, and I'm like, who is that? He goes,
which Ellie is this?
And I'm like, oh, you mean Ellie? He goes, yeah, it's Ellie. And listen, here's the thing about guys, mangaka who have certain fetishes and don't hide it. I love it when they're not cowards. So like, it doesn't even have to be a far out fetish, but just as long as it's not generic, big titty girl who likes the main character. Like, they gotta have something else going on. So in Hiro Mashima's case, it's always headstrong, dumb of ass. I don't even remember what her name in Fairy Tail is, but you have Ellie from Rave, and you have
Lucy. Lucy is Fairy Tail.
And Ellie Tree in Eden Zero. I love the fact that she's a failing YouTuber. It's great. It's a failing YouTuber, and her cat turns into a gun. Like, that man loves gun girls so much. Like, no, it's a gun.
Well, he does have that Gate of Nightmares with Square Enix thing, but I'm not sure if the main girl has a gun.
Oh, she will. She will. At the very least, there'll be a scene where she picks up a gun and goes, I could use this. Hiro Mashima ain't slick. I'm onto you. Okay, we're fully transitioning to this anime topic here. I watched Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie.
Uh-huh.
That is the horniest manga I've ever seen without any fan service shots. Like, people like to compare it to Dress Up Darling from last season.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be real with you. Dress Up Darling was the most fan service ever. And that's good. I'm not complaining about that. You will not find any of this Puritan shit on this podcast. But Shikimori does not have any of that. Like, it does have a very two-dimensional female lead. She literally only has one personality trait, and that is loves my boyfriend. However, this man's fetish, on paper, this is a terrible anime. And I feel as much like it feels like a chore to sit through it. However, this man's fetish shines through the bad in the fog. It is the daybreak from which the dark night ends.
You see the beacon of light.
I see the hope, which is this man's love for strong, cool women. Because that is the joke. The single joke of every chapter of the manga is, man, Shikimori's so cool. She does cool things like hold her fringe out of her face and say cool things. There is a whole chapter where the climax of the chapter is her calling her boyfriend a good boy. Like, you don't get more honest than that. At that point, and this is fairly early on, the manga's at 140 chapters or something. This happens around chapter 25, I think. At that point, I thought to myself, I don't know if there's anywhere else for this to go. And you can tell, this is so much so his dominant fetish. There is a whole arc about them wanting to go swimming in the river together, and they keep teasing about how Shikimori wants to wear a cute swimsuit because her character dilemma is she wants her boyfriend to call her cute, but because she's too damn cool, this never happens. So it was multiple chapters of them just joking about Shikimori's gonna wear a cute swimsuit. And then that said swimsuit appears in one panel in the entire 3-chapter spread because she dives into the water to save her clinically clumsy boyfriend from drowning. And it is never commented on. And that's how you know. That's how you know he's a real one. You gotta respect it. So yeah, that's Mangaka Hall of Fame. That's my point. I don't know, what?
Also, shout out to Helltaker for no particular reason, I suppose.
Shout out to Helltaker. Yeah, I was gonna get to Helltaker. I just wanted to finish up all the manga, but yeah, I know Helltaker. Man just straight up admitted it. It's like, yo, girls in suits though. And you know what? Gotta agree. I'm waiting for that Lucifer pop-up parade to open for pre-orders because I want me one. I'll get one. I think that's about it for the horny manga talk. I don't know. See, because that's the thing, right? Dress Up Darling is one of my favorite manga of all time. But I will concede, it's not that far advanced on the mangaka's fetish. Also, yeah, okay, let's count one bad one. Komi-san. That is a mangaka living in denial.
Ooh.
Legit. I wanna just talk to the mangaka. Just be like, yo, so how bad do you wanna Komi-san? There's nothing wrong with having your main character be a self-insert. Heck, Berserk does it. like Berserk started getting lighter in tone because because Miyazaki didn't want to live that kind of life anymore, and that's why the later chapters of Berserk are about moving on and stuff. So spoilers for Komi-san if you haven't read the manga. Main character gets together with Komi-san, ooh, and then spends what feels like the next 20 chapters for every character congratulating him and telling him how lucky he is that he got together. Like I stopped.
20 chapters?
I don't have the exact number for you, but that's definitely what it felt like, because every time I opened the new chapter, it would just be these dudes going, "There's no way you're with Komi-san," and then Komi-san holds up notebook. "Yes, we are." "Oh my god, you're with Komi-san."
Insert Evangelion congratulations scene, I suppose.
It's not even that. It's just every other character having a meltdown, and then Komi-san going up to me, "I'm with this guy now. You have to respect that." It's just, oh god.
That sounds so tiring to go through.
It is. I legit dropped the manga for that, which is a shame because apparently after that they finally featured a character that everyone has been wanting. I think her name is literally Kishidan or something like that, and her whole thing is she wears a school uniform and knight's armor.
Oh damn.
Yeah, it's a shame because Komi-san can be legitimately charming sometimes with his weird side characters, but oh my god, is it interrupted by the mangaka's own thirst for it. My friend and I used to joke that if you go to Comic-Cat or whatever, the mangaka would be there in disguise, but you could tell it was him by all the Komi merch he was buying. He'd have 5 Dakimakuras hang in his bag. I see you Oda. But yeah, I want to talk about Spy X Family because that's the hot new thing right now. I haven't watched it yet, but like I was telling Ben earlier this morning, I saw a hot fan art of the wife and cool, I'm in. Listen, I'm a man of very simple tastes, so I'm in. We got off pretty far from the video games.
Yeah, I mean, if you can somehow make video games of all the stuff we just mentioned, then sure, we can just tie it in. We're totally clairvoyant here.
Man, I don't understand people who want their favorite anime as video games, because people are saying there should be a Berserk video. There is. It's called Elden Ring. There's
the entire Soul series here.
No, but Elden Ring especially, because it is the most evocative of the early chapters of Berserk, where it's literally you travel down the road and then there's a guy who's like, "Oh, I am the lord of the castle down the road here, but it's been overrun by monsters. Can you go?" Oh no, it's not even the owner of the castle. It'll usually be some servant or something. It's like, "Oh, my lord's been overcome by demons or whatever. Can you go?" And then you go in, and sure enough, the castle looks like shit. And you go in, you fight all the monsters, and you get all the way to where the lord's room is. And now the lord is a giant monster called Zimbob the Boogly. And then you kill him, and then you get the Boogly braces, and it talks about how Zimbob the Boogly used to be a benevolent king, and then he turned into a monster or something. That is Berserk. That is literally the first 5 chapters of Berserk. That is the closest to a Berserk game you're going to get. So much so that I got hooked on spellcasting in the game because giving monsters COVID in that game works really, really well. And so there was one boss where it got to the point where it was affecting my enjoyment of the game. I was like, no, okay, I'm gonna try killing this boss without relying on my magic. It's just to derive some thrill from this. And so my friends and I, we called them guts runs. Just because I use a colossal weapon, so I was just like, yeah, we're gonna guts run this, where you're only allowed to use the colossal weapon. No switching to the magic.
It's time.
But yeah, no, the late bosses in that game, there is no dignity to be had with them. You win by whatever way you can because they don't care. Malekith the Black Blade cuts your HP and does judgment cuts. So yeah, just you kill them in any way you can.
And I suppose we all know Millennia Blade of Mikela.
Yeah, no, I've found there are some funny solutions to stopping Millennia that still require a lot of skill. It's weird. New York Times published this article talking about how a lot of bosses have a cheese that requires no skill. I'm like, no, I promise you, even the really simple ones required a lot of skill to find. Millennia, so her main dangerous attack you have to worry about is this attack called Waterfowl Dance. where she jumps up into the air for a bit, she hovers for a bit, and then she dives down and does this flurry of slashes. And the way to dodge it is something like you run with the camera not locked onto her for the first 2 swings, and then dodge backwards for the 3rd swing and dodge forwards for the 4th swing or something like that. It is insane. Or you can make this item called the freezing pot and chuck it at her while she's hovering, and she will drop like a rock. And the best part is it will cause enough frost damage to her that she will get a frost proc, which does a chunk of her HP and makes her take more damage while the proc is active. So yeah, that's Millennia. I don't even know how long this episode's been going. So fun fact, listeners, we had to record this podcast in several chunks. There's not been that much more news, I feel. I do find the acquisition wars hilarious.
Yeah.
Because why do people care? Why do people care that like whose team gets which studios? Like right now, PlayStation is set to announce their next big acquisition, so everyone's speculating what it's gonna be. Like first people thought it was Koji Pro, and then Kojima like came out and said no, it's not us. And now people have been wanting it to be FromSoft for a while. I kind of don't, just because I think FromSoft makes good games, and I like the system we have now. I don't think they should be an exclusively PlayStation thing. But who knows? I just don't understand why, like, you know, you care about it when the announcement's made. I don't know, I don't get all the speculation.
We got to be all on those monopoly chips, you know?
Yeah, it's duopoly technically because Microsoft owns everything else. I guess a triopoly because anything that's not owned by either of them is owned by Tencent. So yeah, that's wild. And anything else you want to say before we get out of here?
Nothing much, I suppose. Just surviving the blitz, getting on to my daily grinds, which are much more enjoyable than other games that I can name.
Yeah. I wanted to throw in a rant about my experience buying sneakers, but I can literally hear the hardware guys setting up their drill right now. Like, so I think for once we have a shorter than usual episode.
Hooray!
Anyways, don't forget, the Brave Room is now in a monthly format, so don't forget to check out the Thursday of next month, where I will be back from my trip to the UK. I'll be gone
on a sabbatical.
Yeah, I'll be on a sabbatical. I hope to maybe work on some content while I'm gone. Who knows? We'll see. It's been another episode of the Brave Room. Take care, guys.
Take care.
And remember, if you are currently holding a drill, think maybe there is some people recording audio upstairs right now. Maybe I shouldn't be such a dumb jerk and have started my work earlier in the morning or something.
Just saying.